Dear students, I welcome you all for 10th standard 12th chapter electricity. Already we have studied 6 periods under this chapter. Now we are in the 7th period. Now I focus on the meaning of the term electric power. So electric power, each electric power is the capacity of an electric device to work in 1 second. So what is electric power? Electric power of a device is either it is the amount of electric current it is consumed in 1 second, or the work done by that device in 1 second. So electric energy is the work done to maintain the flow of electric current in a conductor. This we have studied earlier when we are studying the meaning of potential difference. There we got W is equal to Q into I. So recall what is learned in the potential difference. We have studied potential difference is nothing but V is equal to W by Q. W by Q. Q is the number of or quantity of charges that is passed through the conductor. So this we have studied. This formula is not new. So we know I is equal to Q into T. This is also we have studied. So if you alter it, Q is equal to I into V. This we get. So now let us change this equation. V is equal to Q into V. So you know Q is equal to I into T. So instead of writing Q, I may write I into T in the place of Q. Then I will get W, that is the work is equal to I current and time duration during which the electric power is supplied, electric current is supplied, and the voltage potential difference. So now I get the equation in this manner. But according to Ohm's law, you know V is equal to Q into R. V is equal to Q into R. So if I change in the place of V, if I write I into R, then the equation is I is equal to T into I into R. See, I 2 times I get. So therefore W, work done by using electricity, is equal to I square into R into T. That means the quantity of heat released when electricity is passed through a conductor is equal to the product of square of the conductor, that is I square, into resistance of the conductor and the time duration during which the electric current is passed through. So this can be this is the symbolic representation. This is the definition of the result of the experiment. So you can conduct the what is called heating effect of electric current experiment and you can derive the equation. So we know if current is passed through the conductor is I, then the resistance of the resistor is R, and the time during which the electric supply is passed through the circuit, and Q is the number of charges that flows through the circuit. Then the work done when electricity passed through the conductor across the potential difference V. The same equation we can be taken here. W is equal to Q into V. You know P is equal to W by T. This is because the definition says power is the capacity. The power is equal to work done by time taken. So what amount of work is done at unit time, that is the definition of power. So instead of W, you may write Q into V in the numerator, because you know W is equal to Q into V. So then the formula is P is equal to Q into V by T. But we know I is equal to Q by T. I is equal to Q by T. It is mentioned here also. See. So instead of Q by T, you may write I. So what happens? P is equal to Q into V by T, or P is equal to V into I, because Q by T is nothing but I. That we know. So the formula is changed now. P is equal to I into V. So how many equations we got for power? Power is equal to W by T. Power is equal to electric current into potential difference. These are the two what is called formula we got. Now let us apply this to the heating effect experiment. Heat energy supplied, that is the work done or energy supplied, W is equal to P into T. But you know P is nothing but I into V. This is mentioned here. So in the place of P, I may write I into V and T as it is. What I get? H is equal to I into V into T. But you know, according to Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R. So in the place of V, I may write I into R. Then H is equal to I into, in the place of V, I write I into R. So I into R into T. So what I get is H is equal to I square into R into T. This is the definition, formula I got for to calculate the amount of heat is liberated when electricity is supplied through a conductor which is having resistance. So this is known as Joule's law. This is the symbolic representation. If you explain the formula in words, then it is called Joule's law. So what Joule's law says? The Joule's law states that heating effect or heating effect of electric current that is produced in the resistor is directly proportional to the square of the electric current, that is I square, and resistance of the conductor, that is R, and the time for which the current flows through the resistor, that is I. So the same equation, here the symbolic representation or equation and the law is nothing but they are one and the same. Then now at this juncture we can answer one more question. Why does the cord of an electric heater not glow while the heating element does? This can be answered like this. See, the heating element that is made up of an alloy that is called tungsten or any nichrome alloy, which has very high resistance. That means heating element means the electric bulb. Electric bulb has a tungsten wire or any other alloy which has high resistance. So when electric current passes through that heating element or bulb, because of the high thermal energy or temperature, it starts glowing. But the resistance of the cord which is used in the electric heater is very less. It is made up of copper or aluminum, so it is very less. So it does not glow, but it may produce some heating effect. It's heating effect. It is not going to glow. So now we are going to study another concept today, that is practical application of heating effect of electric current. The heating effect of electric current has many uses. See, if electric bulb is glow for some time, the bulb gets heated. The room heater, electric iron box which we are using to iron the clothes, immersion coil which we are using to heat the water for bath purpose, then electric toaster which is used to prepare bread and cake in the bakery, and electric oven which we are using in our kitchen, electric fuse, it is the fuse wire we are using in our circuit to protect the electric devices that are present in our house, and a number of other applications, appliances, they are working on this principle. The principle is heating effect of electric current. In all these cases, the wire of suitable resistance, that is commonly called the heating element. Heating element is nothing but the resistant wire that is connected to the power supply or circuit. The current passing through the element produce heating effect, which is used for so many different useful purposes. So now there is a question. Explain the structure and working of an electric bulb. You know, electric bulb, what I am talking is a incandescent bulb which has a thin tungsten wire inside the glass bulb. So this glass bulb is a sealed bulb which contains a gas, that is generally nitrogen gas is used, and a very thin tungsten filament. Very thin tungsten filament. You know, the tungsten is highly resistant wire. When electric current passed through the tungsten wire, which is kept inside the sealed electric bulb, then it starts heating. The temperature may reaches of about 3000 degrees Celsius. When the temperature reaches this high magnitude, then the filament start glowing. So obviously the material of the filament will not burn at this temperature, because tungsten has very high temperature. Its melting point is 3400 degrees Celsius. So at 3000 degrees Celsius it start glowing, but it melts at this temperature. So tungsten wire will not, or tungsten filament will not burn at this temperature. It first starts glowing. And the sealed glass tube here, it serves two purposes. One is the filament avoid oxidation. That means generally when metals are heated in open air, metals reacts with oxygen to form metal oxides. To avoid that, the glass bulb serves as a barrier. It does not allow the filament to comes in contact with the oxygen. So this is the first purpose it does. The second purpose it does, or its second use is, it does not allow the humidity to get into the filament. So these are some of the some sort of protection it gives. It does not allow the filament to comes in contact with the atmospheric oxygen and humidity. The second, here there is a gas which is filled inside. That gas does not, that is the nitrogen gas. Nitrogen gas does not react with the metal at that temperature. So these are the two uses of electric bulb. The third one is the third important point is the electric glass bulb. It does not allow the heat to pass through the system. So that is the third, because the glass is very poor conductor of heat. Then now we are using another device which I have mentioned in the previous period, that is electric fuse is also a device which works on the principle of heating effect of electric current. Here what is fuse? Fuse is an alloy of copper and lead. It is an alloy which is prepared by using two metals, that is they are copper and lead. So these two metals are fused to form an electric fuse. It has very low temperature, very low melting point. That means when electricity passed through this fuse wire, it melts if more electricity is passed through it, because it gets heated. When it is placed in a series of electric devices, it does not allow excess of electric current to flow through the circuit. If the current larger than the prescribed value that is flows through the circuit, the temperature of the fuse wire increases and the fuse wire melts so that it breaks the circuit. So when the fuse wire is melts, what happens? The electric current will not get into our house. So the valuable electric appliances that are present in our house will be protected if you are using electric circuit in series in your domestic circuit. There are different what is called rating in case of fuse. There are fuses, they have different rating. They are rated as 1 amps, 2 amps, 3 amps, 5 amps, 10 amps, etc. So depending on the need, we have to choose the electric fuse. So if you use electric fuse, what is called suitable electric fuse of a suitable rate, then you can protect any valuable electric devices from overloading. So this is another electric device which works on the principle of heating effect. Then we are going to study electric power. The different electric appliances which we are using in our house, they have some measurement. For example, generally we say 20 watt bulb, 10 watt bulb or 100 watt bulb. So this is the common word we are using in our daily life while we are purchasing electric bulbs. So what is this watt? Watt is nothing but a SI unit of measuring the electric power. So what is electric power? Power is the rate of work done. The rate of work done is called power. So what is electric power? Electric power is a rate of work done by an electric device, or in other words, electric power is the rate of electric current it is consumed in 1 second. So that is the electric power of that device. So the SI unit of this what is called physical quantity is watt. So the watt is the SI unit of electric power. So let us derive some equations for electric power. Already we have studied in the last period, that is P is equal to W by T, because the definition itself tells power of a electric device is nothing but the work done by the device in 1 second. So in numerator we have to write work done, in the denominator you have to write the time taken by the device. So this is not new for us, but here in the definition I told you electric power can be defined as the electric energy that is consumed by an electric device in 1 second, or it is the work done by the electric device in 1 second. So you may write P is equal to E by T, or you may write P is equal to W by T. So both are same. Then from the Joule's law of heating, we came to know that W can be written I square into R into T. So let us manipulate this equation. So P is equal to W by T can be written in this manner. P is equal to W. Instead of W, I may write I square into R into T. So I have written I square into R into T in numerator and T in the denominator. See, T are common in numerator and denominator. They are cancelled. So P is equal to I square into R. This is another definition to calculate the power of the device. So if you apply Ohm's law to the equation what we have just got, P is equal to I square into R. So if you write P is equal to I square into R, this I square can be written I into I. See, P is equal to I into R. So you know, according to Ohm's law, I into R is equal to V. So I into R is equal to V. So you may write, so P is equal to I into V or V into I. This is the third equation we got. So this is just I am going to mention you how many different types of equations are there to calculate the power. Nodi, but we know I is equal to V by R. This is also according to Ohm's law. So instead of I may write V by R. So if so, P is equal to V into I is changed into P is equal to V into V by R. If so, V and V are in the numerator, you may write it is in the form of V square. So P is equal to V square by R. This is the fourth equation we got for to calculate the power. So how many formula are there to calculate the power? There are four formula. What are they? P is equal to W by T, or you may write P is equal to E by T. Second one, P is equal to V square into R. Third one, P is equal to V by I, and the fourth one is called P is equal to V square by R. So these are the different equation you have to keep in mind, you have to practice them, then only you can solve the problems which are given in the textbook to solve. Now let us study what is 1 watt power. What is 1 watt power? You know, power is W is equal to, what is called power is equal to W by T. So electric power of 1 watt is equal to the power consumed by the device to carry 1 amps of electric current when operated in the potential difference 1V. So this is explained on the basis of P is equal to V into I. So 1 watt is equal to 1 volt and 1 ampere. So this definition, you can define the what is called 1 watt in this manner. So this is power is equal to volt into I, potential difference into electric current. So 1 watt is equal to the unit SI unit of potential difference is volt, and SI unit of electric current is ampere. So P is equal to V into I. This can be expressed by this method. So if an electric device consumes 1 joule of electric current in 1 second, then its power can be explained as 1 watt. So because P is equal to W by T or P is equal to E by T. So it is not mentioned in the textbook, but I have mentioned here. So this is what is expressed in the textbook. So this definition and this equation can be used. So to make understand this, we can support some of the things. See, 1 unit, that is the unit watt is very small. So generally it cannot be used for practical purposes to measure the total electricity that is consumed in our house, because we are using many devices, not only one bulb, we are using many bulbs, we are using electric fan, electric iron box, fridge, refrigerator, or other devices, electric oven in our house, but they have the different what is called electric power. So it is not convenient to use the watt as a power. For this purpose, we are using 1000 watt as kilowatt. So kilowatt we are using for calculation purposes. We are using this kilowatt hour kWh unit to measure the electricity consumed in our house in 1 month. Since electric energy is the product of power and time, the unit of electric energy is therefore watt hour. Time is expressed in hour, then power is expressed in watt. So this watt hour or kilowatt hour can be used. This kilowatt hour means if the electric device of power 1 kilowatt is burnt for or is used for 1 hour, then it is called 1 kilowatt hour. This is commonly called 1 unit. So you generally calculate how many units of electricity you consume in your house for 1 month. So that unit of electric power is nothing but kWh. So you know what is 1 kWh or 1 unit? When 1 watt of electric power is used to consume by an electric device in 1 hour, then it is called 1 watt hour. 1 watt hour. When 1000 watt of electric power is consumed by different electric devices in 1 hour, then it is called 1 watt hour. So 1 watt hour is nothing but 1 into kilo means 1000 into watt into hour. See, 1 kilowatt means 1000 watt into hour. Hour can be expressed in second, that is 3600 seconds. So if you multiply these two, you will get 36,000,000 watt second. So this can be, see, in front of 36, how many zeros are there? 5 zeros are there. So 36 into 10 to the power of 5 or 3.6 into 10 to the power of 6 watt second. So this 1 watt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power of 6 joule. So this is the comparison of power and energy. So with this we have completed this chapter electricity. I told you only conceptual matters are discussed here, not calculations are not discussed. So most of the calculations are discussed in the textbook in solved part. You may follow that. Thank you for listening the class. Thank you.